Hello and welcome to the Rise Centre in Amsterdam. It's Monday the 12th of September. You're watching IBC TV News. In today's programme, as super high vision gets liftoff, is the stellar growth in consumer products. How James Cameron's sinking another $18 million in Titanic.
Depth costs money. You're sort of buying it by the yard.
And up with the dinosaurs at 85. Sir David wins IBC's top award.
I'm on a quest to uncover the truth about a group of animals that were once simply the stuff of myth and legend.
Connectivity is changing the face of broadcasting. It's brought a whole range of products to IBC that we'd never have seen here a few years ago. As consumers make more use of the small screen, the market for apps and gizmos has exploded, and many of these perform so well that they're beginning to compete with professional equipment. Is this a good thing? And how does the top end of the market stay ahead? Gillian Kelly reports.
Visitors to IBC have been watching super high vision pictures of the last shuttle launch. Top-end technology at a sky-high price. But whether consumers are ready to pay for a 16-fold leap in resolution is still far from clear. What they will pay for are products like this. DSLR cameras are all you need to shoot content for an iPhone, and that's where the industry's growth is taking place. Then there's pro-consumer equipment. Canon's XF304 costs €7,000. It's being used to make documentaries in full HD. So is it taking business away from the high end? Makers accept that the distinction between pro and consumer kit is now blurred.
We have a lot of products which we planned as a consumer product, which are now being used professionally, and vice versa. And it just depends on the market and what is available.
Here at IBC, there are plenty of consumer gadgets that could be developed for professional use. This device is controlled by iPhone. Its makers see many possibilities.
There's some people out there that actually could be quite good at this if they'd ever get their hands on professional kit. And it gives them a starting point for that. And I think you're going to see content coming from all over the place. Not just YouTube silly cat videos and things like that, but actually quite professional things.
So will such products eventually challenge the expensive pro gear on which major broadcast companies have built their reputations? Most experts don't think so.
The quality of consumer and videographer-grade equipment has come up to staggering quality. It's very good. However, just like with any tools, craftsmen need different things for different jobs, and I think you'll still see a substantial differentiation between professional equipment intended for professional broadcasters and cinematographers.
New media platforms are driving sales growth at the bottom of the market, but high-end makers will continue to rely on an old adage. In this industry, perhaps more than any other, you get what you pay for, and top broadcast quality doesn't come cheap.
You're watching IBC TV News. Now, each year, this event honours figures from around the industry who've made a significant contribution to the world of broadcasting. Some are innovators, some are content creators. All of them are at the very top of their game. Last night, their achievements were marked at IBC's awards ceremony. Graham Bowd reports.
Looking forward to another showstopper. The industry's finest gathered last night to celebrate the best of talent and technology. Outstanding contributions from across the world have been recognised in the IBC Innovation Awards, celebrating the partnerships between the suppliers of technology and those who use it. CNBC scooped the prize for content creation, CNN won the content management section, and DNA were chosen for the best content delivery. Its team stayed on the stage to collect the IBC Judges Prize for its DVB T2 single frequency network. The IBC Conference Award went to the authors of NHK's technical paper on super high vision. The night's top award was the International Honour for Excellence. It went to the natural history broadcaster Sir David Attenborough.
Technologists have provided us year after year with new opportunities, with new possibilities. It's been up to us to make the best of those new advances.
Sir David is still making programmes at 85, a long career that's brought together the very best in creativity and technology.
Something I had never believed could have been possible.
Graham Bowd reporting on last night's awards ceremony here at IBC. Now, wherever you go at this year's show, you can't help being reminded of the huge advances taking place in 3D technology. And if you had to name one man you'd associate with 3D cinema, it would have to be James Cameron. His film Avatar is the top-grossing movie of all time. Titanic is number 2 and is currently remastering that in 3D. Well, a couple of days ago, I managed to catch up with Cameron here at the show, and I asked him how the project was going.
Well, it's a horrifically tedious process. Fortunately, I don't have to do all the work myself. There's a couple hundred people working at workstations, going through and outlining every single subject, every character, every depth plane, every object, and then assigning depth to it. Very, very painstaking. It's going to take us, by the time we're done, a year and about $18 million. But at the end of it, I think it'll be indistinguishable from having been shot in actual native 3D.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Which is interesting you should say that, because that kind of goes against everything that you've said in terms of, not everything that you've said, but isn't your great belief that 3D should be from camera through to the finish?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's not a contradiction at all, because short of getting a time machine, which I don't think I could build for $18 million, going back in time and shooting Titanic, there's no other way to do it. But look, if you have a choice of spending some small increment to your production budget to shoot in native 3D and have the fun doing it and have the creative hands-on experience of shooting in 3D, why would you want to shoot it in 2D and then turn it into 3D later at great cost? Because I think what we're demonstrating is that it takes a year and costs you $18 million. Now, let's say that you're making a film and it's going to take you a year to turn it into 3D. Well, no one's going to take that amount of time. So what they do is they try to do it in 5 or 6 or 7 weeks, and they do a botched job of it. And they don't spend enough money to actually get full depth. So most of these converted films actually don't look very good, because depth costs money. You're sort of buying it by the yard. And so they don't spend the money to do it right. So I firmly believe that the right answer is to just shoot in 3D. If you want a 3D movie, shoot it in 3D. With the exception of Jaws and Star Wars and all your great classics that you have no choice on.
Why are you so keen to have Titanic in 3D?
Well, I think it has to do with the fact that had 3D existed as a viable medium at the time that I made Titanic in '97, I would have shot it in 3D. And the style of the film absolutely lends itself to 3D in the sense that it's very much about the environment. You're wrapped in the opulence of this ship. And so the style that I would have used had I shot it in 3D wouldn't have been vastly different. So it's actually converting very smoothly into 3D. And frankly, I've seen the result, and it looks spectacular. You want to see this movie in 3D.
James Cameron talking to me here at IBC. And tonight, James will be in the auditorium to introduce the Monday night 3D showcase. He'll be showing 18 minutes of clips from the remastered Titanic. And that'll be followed by Sir David Attenborough's latest project.
For the first time ever in stunning 3D, join me, David Attenborough, on a journey of discovery.
IBC award winner Sir David Attenborough on the big screen tonight. And there's much more besides, including 3D footage of Britain's recent royal wedding. 3D showcase starts at 6:30. Now let's have a look at today's conference programme. Today's keynote is on advertising. Multiple platforms are taking revenue away from traditional broadcasters. Find out more at 9 o'clock in the forum. That session will be followed by a look at how second screen devices can be used by advertisers in conjunction with the viewer's TV. That's at 11 o'clock. The gaming industry now generates as much revenue as Hollywood, and they share the same visual effects technology. The relationship will be further explored in the forum's first afternoon session at 1:30. There's a whole day of 3D conference sessions in the auditorium. At 9 o'clock, the focus is on delivery as 3D moves from the large screen to mobile platforms. At 11 o'clock, fixing it in post. tight budgets can lead to false economies in stereoscopic production. So can it be rescued by your favourite post house? And in the afternoon, the topic is live 3D coverage. Sports events and concerts are a big challenge for 3D program makers. Steve Schleyer of Reality Technica will be talking about some surprising new developments here. And finally, can I draw your attention to an added value session in the Emerald Room? The delivery of 3D video by cable will be explored during this special meeting of the Benelux SCTE. That's the Society for Broadband Professionals. That free session starts at 10. Now, IBC TV News is a long-established feature of this show. Working alongside our industry partners, we've been covering the event since 1996. In most ways, our operation runs just like any other news magazine program, using the most up-to-date technology. Natasha Saei reports.
This is where it all happens, IBC's TV News Centre. Every day, the team produces a 20-minute magazine with news and features from the exhibition and conference. The show is available on cable TV channel AT5 in the Netherlands. It's seen in 10,000 hotel rooms across Amsterdam. You can also get it online, on your mobile and on iTunes by subscribing to the free IBC TV News podcasts. The focus is on multi-delivery platforms made possible through the expertise of our partner, Digital Rapids.
It's always been really fun working with TV News, and it's also a very good platform for showing off what we do, which is basically live encoding for web streams, on-demand encoding for large websites with video clips, etc.
And once again, IBC TV News is collaborating with EVS.
We provide editing tools based on EVS Clean Edit system. So it's an advanced timeline editing system based on full virtual editing operations, which allows to browse into the content in low res while the high resolution is still being ingested into the systems.
Our library content, including extended interviews with some of the top names in the industry, can be accessed on our website ibctvnews.com directly through Forbidden's Foreseen product.
We're providing a syndication engine, as we did last year, for exhibitors to be able to see what news is shot of their stands and their announcements over the web. But this year we're adding to that because we're integrating directly with the EVS system that's sitting in TV News' MCR and pulling the material directly off.
IBC TV News has been bringing you the very best from the convention for 16 years.
And if you'd like to know even more about IBC TV News, then please do come to visit us. We're here in the production village at the back of Hall 11.
Natasha Saei reporting on our operation here at IBC TV News. Now, with a roundup of the latest business stories from around the show, here's Andrew Kerr.
Thank you, Rob. And first up today, Avid has sold its Interplay media asset management system to Sweden's horse racing production company Canal 75. The company has also announced the completion of a €4.5 million post-production system for Germany's WDR. Jampro Antennas has won a major contract from Vietnam Television to supply 10 DTV-ready antenna systems. Jampro has also sold 20 flat-panel FM radio antennas to Egypt's national broadcaster ERTU. Hamlet is supplying monitor scope measurement equipment to Saudi OB company Al Najum. Local post house Glassworks Amsterdam is to install PRM 4200 reference monitors from Dobie. And finally, Sky News Arabia has signed a contract with EVS to provide a fully integrated news production solution.
Every other sports company in the world has used EVS, and we wanted to put something in place that was just as reliable, just as bulletproof, and develop a system that was suitable for a newsroom environment.
Those are some of today's announcements from around the show. If your company's got a story, there's still time to get it on IBC TV News. Come and find us in the production village in Hall 11. Rob.
Thank you, Andrew. Well, now it's time for our daily programme strand, in which we focus on one particular section of the show. The management zone is spread over 4 halls. System integration, software and asset management are among its specialist areas. John Willets has been zoned in.
Touchscreen technology may not be a new development, but its adaptation for use on live TV on this scale is, and it's now being used by several major broadcasters.
We can do all sorts of things for analysis on the screen. For example, let's say that we want to move this chap and move him up there. We can do that. If we watch a little bit more, we can pause again and see what kind of line we've got here to the goals. We can draw an arrow over like that. Watch a bit more, say that we want to focus in and talk about one particular person, we'll put a spotlight on him.
I think the presenters are becoming more and more confident with it. You know, you and I, and most people these days have phones with touchscreen devices, so it's a very familiar interface that the general public are used to seeing in their everyday lives.
Now, when you think of a TV station, you might think of something quite large, but not at this stand.
Here, entire playout systems are being controlled using Mac Minis.
It means inserts of live feeds and also play out on the same machine. The whole software is running on the Mac Mini, including the video server and the graphics overlay. So we can play out the video, doing titles and logo insertion, all on the Mac Mini.
Multi-platforms means updates this year to many major workflow systems. With the latest version of ENPS, shortcut posting to Facebook has now been incorporated.
Attach that to our posting, hit share, that's going to send it up to our Facebook page. If I come over here and refresh, we have the same image posted immediately to Facebook from what we had inside ENPS.
The latest offering from Quantel, meanwhile, is QTube, a cloud-based global media workflow allowing metadata editing and viewing of material over the internet.
This is really important. A producer can make some primary editing decisions in one part of the world, and an editor can be guided by those primary decisions but not bound by them.
Of course, the latest digital equipment doesn't always mean the latest digital content. And when it comes to restoring old footage like this is the fastest available equipment in the world.
We can actually process 2K DPX data files faster than real time. High definition resolution DPX files at about 47 frames per second. So we're incredibly fast.
If you want to catch up with more from the management zone at IBC, you can see the stands in Halls 6 and 7 and parts of Halls 8 and 9.
John Willets with his pick of the products from the IBC management zone. Well, that's about all we have time for. I hope you'll have a good day's business here at IBC. We'll have more news and features from around the show at the same time tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.
The weather in Amsterdam today will be dull and humid with outbreaks of rain and a top temperature of 21 degrees. Later in the day it'll dry up and there'll be sunny spells with scattered showers. By the evening the rain will be back and the temperature will drop to 15. And the outlook for the week ahead. Tuesday will be dry and bright with outbreaks of light rain. Wednesday will start sunny but the showers will return later on.